Welcome back, folks, to World of Warships Legends. I'm Soopa-Dave, and today on our build and play guide, we're doing Brandenburg. This is going to be an absolute fun guide. I had somebody ask for a Brandenburg guide, and here it is. And trust me, this is a fun ship. This is definitely I don't know what I did in my first three games. I must have got it very early on and just got mauled like a moron in it. But I've been back in this thing and it's absolutely a blast. And almost every game I've had in it could have been a video. All right, this thing is just fun. So let's get started. Let's talk about the commander first. You could use Celiax or whatever German battleship commander, secondary commander that you want to use on it. We're using Von Hipper and Haruna. If you don't have Haruna, I believe it's Von Essence. There's a lot of secondary or there's a few secondary inspirations you could go. I always recommend having Haruna. That's one thing I would save up doubloons for is Haruna. If you like secondaries at all, this is a big help. Bismarck's base trait, unwavering strength, good day's work, which honestly definitely helpful. But on Brandenburg, you could do no fly zone. I probably would do that now that we have these new preset builds. I probably would put new no fly zone on. Anyway, porcupine, walrus, or whatever that's called. This thing is super handy, especially in Brandenburg. Um, I know a lot of people like different commanders for German battleship secondaries. There's Hyde, there's Bismarck, there's the Japanese anime one, there's Celiax. There's so many good options, and I'm not saying any of them are wrong, but if you want to really fine tune, because of the secondary distance that Brandenburg has, when you take a bunch of less damage while your secondaries are shooting, this is a very good perk that makes you very tanky. Alright, so Master Mechanic in our last slot and Fight Fire with Fire. And I can assure you, you're going to want that because you're going to be on fire a lot. Uh, for our modifications, we're taking secondary mod 2. And second and third slots, we're taking prop and concealment as always. And in the last slot, we're taking secondary battery mod 3. And you can upgrade that to legendary if you do, in fact, choose to. For your loadouts, you have 5 heals. They're not amazing, but you have 5 of them because of Master Mechanic. And you can have enhanced secondary targeting, observation seaplane, or at catapult fighters. Don't be a crazy man. Take the secondaries. This thing absolutely you want to build into the secondaries. All right. This is actually having played this again. This is absolutely one of my favorite ships. I just love this thing. It's so much fun. I don't know what it is about these German battleships, secondary battleships, that some people don't like them, right? But man, they are tough, and you can do some stuff. And if you think I'm crazy, this is Bismarck with a free-to-play commander, right? I do well in that one, really well. I mean, I can control matches, a 73% win rate without divisions. Wow, Odin, like these German battleships, I don't know what it is about them, but me and them get along. Like even nobody likes Scharnhorst, the regular Scharnhorst. I have like a 80% win rate in Scharnhorst. All right, so let's keep going here, guys. Let's look at specs. 59,000 health, so you don't have a lot of it, but you do have 5 heals, and you don't have a whole lot of torpedo damage reduction. Kind of the German thing, right? You just don't have a lot of torpedo reduction. Artillery. All right, so you do have the same guns as Odin, as we talked about, the 12s. They aren't as accurate, but you do have 12 of them, but the reload is much slower, okay? Now, these do, in fact, also have the quarter pen. These pen 76 millimeters of armor based on quick math, but and also The AP is pretty decent. Now, these aren't super accurate. And being that they're 12-inch guns, when you're shooting them, you need to shoot superstructure. You're not going to be citadeling battleships all the time. However, you get your hands on cruisers. I don't know what it is about these 305 Germans, but they do well for me. Uh, just like Odin. I mean, Odin is an absolute. These are the same guns as Odin, just not as accurate and reloads longer. But man, you get your hands on a cruiser with these. They're gonna do some work. Torpedoes. You have a quad torpedo launcher on each side, and they do come in very handy. But you got to be careful. They're in the middle of the ship, and they get wrecked a lot. Especially if you are a brawler like I am, we get up close. So just remember that. AA defense. This is one thing that caught me off guard. It's not that bad for a German battleship. And if you took the AA mod, you brought this all out even farther. I mean, I know I've gotten a. I know actually earlier today I got a clear sky in it, so it will shoot down planes, and it wasn't even Japanese, I don't believe. Um, is it amazing? No, it's German, but it surprisingly will shoot down some planes. And another thing you got to keep in mind, because you're a secondary ship and people are going to be targeting you a lot, your secondaries, these are what your secondaries are, right? Well, not the flak 38s, but the 105s. By the end of the match, you're not going to have a lot of AA. So just remember that. When you get wore out, a lot of your AA guns are going to be gone. Maneuverability, 32 knots, 820 turning circle. It's actually much more maneuverable than what it looks like on paper. The speed catches you off guard, and the turning circle is pretty darn good for a battleship at this tier. I'm not saying it's amazing, I'm just saying it's good, and it feels better when you're playing it. Concealment 13-2, you are a battleship. You are not sneaking up on moose, a dead moose in open water. All right. You gotta use island cover to get close. That being said, when I first got back into this, when somebody asked me to play this, I had 3 matches, 3 losses, and I had like average 30,000 damage. I don't know what I did in the first time I got in the ship. I was terrible apparently. But since being back in it, I've played 9 games. I've won all but one, and almost all of them could have been videos. All right, so I really messed up my first 3 games. After that, the same. I don't know what I did back when I first got it, but since playing it now, this thing is just, I mean, fantastic, man. I really like it. Another note about the secondaries here, guys, because I do want to talk about these quick since this is the primary part of the ship. They go out to 12 kilometers. So outside of Atlantico, in my opinion, these are the best secondaries at the tier. Reason being is you have a cajillion of them, and they're pretty good, right? They're not super accurate, but if you look, you get 20 of the 105s, and you got 12 of the 150s. The 105s pen 20 millimeters of armor, so not quite quarter pen, but pretty close to quarter pen. Or it's more like 1/5 pen. Uh, so you're not going to be penning a lot of stuff with them. But what they are is because they reload every 2.6 seconds, you're going to get fires with them. Now the match you guys are going to see, I don't get a lot of fires with them. I get kind of unlucky. And then your 150s, them are going to be what does your damage on your secondaries. In this match that you guys are going to see today, I I don't even get a wither, so my damage, I get unlucky with fires. So my damage is really coming from the secondaries, right? And they're not bad. I love them. Outside of obviously Atlantico at the tier, I would say these are the secondaries I want on my ship, right? These are maybe Scharnhorst 43s. I like them ones a lot too. So stats, you guys can see pretty effective. You can see clear sky. I did get a clear sky, 31 shot down. So you can shoot down planes if you have to, but you know you gotta have a tough time with carriers. just like in anything. Armor, this is a Bismarck, right? So if you guys didn't know, Brandenburg is literally a Bismarck with, better secondaries, and it has 12-inch guns instead of the 15s that Bismarck has. And honestly, I will take this ship over Bismarck. I like Bismarck a lot too, though. So you have a 32 millimeter bow, but you also have this extended belt up front. I mean, sure, I guess on paper Musashi can overmatch you through that little section right there. Do you see how tiny that is? That little yellow part, right? Do you realize how hard that would be for Musashi to hit? You can bow tank stuff. Don't worry about it. All right. Um, and then also pretty solid armor, right? Like, I mean, we don't need to talk about this too much, but it's like they said, the ship is basically Bismarck. It's tough. I mean, unless you just drive straight forward and do nothing else at all, these German battleships are tough. It has, as you can see here, it does have a turtleback. I call these half turtlebacks because the Citadel isn't angled as well. But it don't matter. You're gonna be fine in this thing. You can get Citadel lifting up, turning in though, and I have. In fact, I think in this match, I do. I think Massachusetts does it to me, but fantastic armor. Now you do have this giant superstructure, right? But I mean, if you play German battleships, you should be used to that. You're gonna get chunked by that. Everything else, tough ship. As we start the match, it's disclaimer time. This is a beginner's video meant to help people new to the ship or new to the game. This is not meant for professional gamers that know everything there is to know about everything in the universe. There are multiple ways to play and build this ship, and I am an above average player. Not the world's best. I make mistakes. You may see one in this match. You didn't come here for pronunciations. I'm as good as anybody at slaughtering beautiful languages all the time. With that out of the way, we are on the Atlantic, and this is going to be a fun one, guys. This is going to be about as good of a showcase in Brandenburg as you're going to ever run across, right? We're going to square up against another secondary ship, actually two of them. It's gonna showcase everything. All right. I don't know what it is about these German secondary battleships. These German battleships, it's not even like I'm biased towards them. I just, all of a sudden lately, I get in them and I do really well. Brandenburg, in my opinion, at tier 7, this is gonna probably irritate some people, but I put this right up here with Atlantico. You can outrange everything else with your secondaries besides Atlantico. Atlantico's got better main guns, but this has AA defense, and it actually has torps, which and fight fire with fire, which doesn't sound like a big thing, but trust me, when you get 45 fires burned on you in Atlantico, you'll understand that. So, right, in my opinion, best secondary ships at tier 7, Brandenburg, Atlantico. Yep, there's a Massachusetts, and I know there's going to be some people that says Massachusetts is a better brawling secondary ship. Not the case, in my opinion. Is it a very good ship? Absolutely. I love Massachusetts. But when you're talking about just squaring up and brawling, I will take Brandenburg every day of the week. In fact, I would say, we talked about that in the Massachusetts video. It's not really going to be the effective choice going against up other brawlers. It's a good ship, but it's more of a hybrid. You have main guns and secondaries. And while the secondaries are accurate on Massachusetts, they just don't do what Brandenburgs do, and you don't have as many of them, right? Brandenburg essentially has double of the secondaries. This ship, absolutely a blast, guys. I know I like every ship, and I get crap for that all the time. I mean, it's really hard not to like Brandenburg. These main guns, they might not be the best, right? But the secondaries make up for it. The tankiness may make up for it. And these secondaries, or these main guns, not bad. They're not, it's not like they're awful. They're, they're small caliber battleship guns that aren't super accurate because you're building into secondaries. So that you got to understand that. Can you do some damage with it? Absolutely. Like here, look, like I talk about all the time. We get a hold of a cruiser. Look, we're gonna line up, take a shot. These 12-inch guns, these 305s like this and Odin. They punish cruisers. I don't, it's like the perfect caliber. Oh, look, the Maya's back, right? Perfect. Absolutely perfect opportunity. We're going to keep firing at Edinburgh with our secondaries. And if you guys don't know how to choose that, you pull up your wheel and you can target another ship with your secondaries. Oh, look, 2 citadels there. These 305s. 305 for some reason is one of the best calibers in the game just to wipe out destroy cruisers. And Odin particularly is good at it. What else has 305s? There's a bunch of ships that have 305s. But ships like that in Alaska, man, they're just so good at taking out cruisers. Now, we're going to get in a little brawling battle with Massachusetts. And he's going to come, he's got more health than me, everything else. Now, I do have a little bit of help, but it ain't going to matter. This poor guy, right? Like, he's in Massachusetts, he's going to try to brawl. And he's going to realize really quickly, I'm within torp range. He can't charge me here, right? If he charges me, I just torp him and he's dead. Right? And he understands that. And then torps will back up a lot of ships, right? And they have pretty good torp angles. As long as they're not out, you can see, man, I can throw them basically in front of my ship. And going as broadside as I did there, one thing with the ship is a lot of times you're not going to get Citadel doing that. You're going to take a big chunk of damage, but he definitely thinks I dropped my torpedoes there, and he is backing up like a son of a gun, and our secondaries have just lit him up. This guy is done, right? We're going to stop going because there's no reason to charge in. That's one thing with the German battleships. You have to understand, limit people that are shooting you, and then also understand when you have the advantage. I go around that corner, right away. He could, then I'm giving up enough of my under turrets there to probably give a broadside up. Also, we're gonna take a shot at Nebraska, right? We have completely owned our side of the map. But you can see we just do a 10,000 salvo out onto Nebraska. So the main guns can do damage. And we're off to a pretty decent start. We've won this side. And we've actually taken the cap. Now I actually drove out of it. Otherwise we would have even had a better score at the end of this game. But we're going to go ahead and move now. We're going to keep moving. The main guns... like I said, not great at distance, but we're going to get closer. And the whole time, we're going to help out our team. We've won our side, but the rest of the map has not done well, right? They're holding their own. That's all I needed them to do. And that's the one thing with this ship. Like, man, you can really control matches with it. And if you don't know what I mean, I just drove straight forward in this ship, right? And we got backed off 2 cruisers. And a very good tier 7 battleship in Massachusetts, right? And we won our side. We cleaned house. Now we're going to start going to the rest of the map. And we're just going to basically drive forward this rest of this time and just take stuff out. That's what we're going to do. And this match, guys, by the way, when we get to the end of it, I'll explain. This is actually a first for me in a battleship. And, what happens in this match here. I don't want to spoil it, but if you guys know, I had it happen to me the other time, the other week in a destroyer. I think it was just like a week or 2 ago. We had a video out on it, so some of you guys know what's coming. But anyway, here, guys, we are pushing up, and Nebraska, I think, is backing up is a good option here. we get our secondaries start to going, and you're just gonna see the fun. The fun starts. These secondaries are just so much fun to watch go off. It's like, oh, there's a bunch of, oh, there's Edinburgh too. Just, guys, I'm telling you, this ship is fun. If I told you I like the ship, all right, this is a ship I'm gonna have to stay away from because I'm telling you, I've only lost one match in it since being back in it, since being like a decent player. I've not had any bad matches with this, and I can just, I feel like it's too powerful for me. And you guys know a lot of ships, if they're too powerful, I stay out of them, and I don't really get into them. Like you guys saw Montana. I got back into Montana for one match. You guys saw what happened, right? We had the 300k game right off the start. As we get our high caliber, we take out another poor fella. Now Bismarck, right? Really good secondary ship. Full health. And we're just going to brawl. We're not even going to pay attention to him. He's not really that big of a threat to us. I mean, he kind of is if he's a really good player. But I'm telling you, for some reason, you get me in these German secondary ships, and I do just fine. And we're just going to push in. We're going to grab this cap because now we're starting to win this match, but we were losing this match, and I want to get this cap. I mean, they have 2 destroyers still. I mean, we could still easily lose this match, right? Meantime, we got Bismarck burning down from our secondaries. We're going to go ahead and just get this cap here. So we're going to get our second cap in a battleship, right? In a battleship. And we're going to just give ourselves a second to get our heal, a little bit more time to get a heal back in case we need it. And now we're going to go ahead and just drive straight forward at this Bismarck, right? This ship just feels like cheating to me. I don't know why, but... Alright, we're going to take a decent little chunk out of him. We're going to throw some torpedoes out since he's driving forward. I don't know why you would drive forward into a Tirpitz. That doesn't seem like the world's most ideal situation. We're going to go ahead, push up. And we're going to get a torp hit. Now he does get a pretty good hit into me. But we are going to go ahead and finish him off. And you can see we've only had 6 fires so far. Right? Only 6 fires. So we're doing this damage with the actual secondaries and our main guns. Right? And we don't have a witherer. So most of our damage is actually coming from the guns without fires. We did, get Massachusetts burning, and we did get Bismarck burning. But for the most part, we're just doing secondary damage and main gun damage as we are continue to push up. And you can see we have quite a few ribbons so far. And right now we got 4 kills. Destroyer probably isn't going to want to show himself because he hasn't in a while, and it's a black. I don't know what you're doing in a black that you are not being spotted once in a while or for this long. But that's just my opinion. I play black pretty aggressively, the American destroyer. Gneisenau, he's the last guy to get spotted, and he's just going to be taking a bunch of hits, right? We're getting some salvos in on him. While we're not absolutely wrecking them, you can see we're lining up, aiming up a little bit, and that's what you want to do in these against battleships, right? You're not going to just Citadel Gneisenau with this thing at 12 kilometers. You got to get closer in as we get our Confederate. We got some secondaries going off. Gneisenau decides to heal. We're going to wrap around. We know there's a destroyer. That's why I am bobbing and weaving and doing warship wiggle. And we are going to go ahead and take a shot at Gneisenau. Get our Kraken. So, we're actually going to move forward because this black hasn't showed himself. I'm assuming he's going to run away. We're going to grab the 3rd cap. Meaning in this match, we get a high crack or a high caliber. We cap every base, right? Every base a high caliber, and a Kraken. That's I think the first time I've done all three bases, a Kraken and a high caliber. Because in a battleship, if you go across the map and get three bases, you've probably been in a few wars, as we were in that one. Done all them things independently, but all in one match in one ship before. As we get a top of leaderboard, a 3,200 base game, and in a secondary ship. And if you guys are unaware, secondary ships you get less XP. So a 3,200 game would be pretty equivalent to a 4,000 or 4,500 of any other type ship, right? In fact, you guys see me do the exact same thing basically in Hampshire, same exact stats, and that was a 4,600 game the other day, right? So this is one of the more solid ships or gaunches you're gonna have in Brandenburg, and I've had like three of them, so I can't wait to show you guys more. But I absolutely love this ship. It's fun. I think it's a little too powerful in my opinion. But you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you folks next time.